Welcome back to part 3. Okay, step 5. Step 5 is, how did taking this journey change your pattern? How did it change what you were doing before? How did it break your pattern? So before you go ahead and do this step, let's look at how the other people did it first. How did John break his pattern of what he was doing before? For John, he never consulted anyone besides himself before. He was CEO. He knew what he wanted. He knew how to get it. He knew when he was going to get it. And he had us drown out all the haters and the doubters in order to innovate and think out of the box. That was his winning formula so many times. Listen to himself and no one else. But for 9.5 years, John was walking every day on the beach, listening to his soul and talking with God. That's how he broke his pattern, by listening to someone else outside of himself. John writes, "I've never done that before. My whole life, I only take into account what my own thoughts are or people who are like me. I've never, took the time out to listen to anything besides my own ego. Even though it was a healthy ego, I listened to it. And now I'm listening to God. I'm listening to my own soul more." John had founded successful companies in the past, but he founded those companies from his own talent, hard work, and ego. Healthy ego. When he became successful, his success broke up his family. Maybe John never entered the race. He sat on the sidelines for a reason. We talked before about taking different paths which lead to the same goal. And in John's case, the path or the race which led to his goal is the same path that destroyed his family. His if then but statement says, if I take this same path, then I will have the same success I did before. And for 9.5 years, John was walking on the beach, talking to God about entering back into this race. And God kept him on the sidelines and didn't let him enter that race. Instead, God sat on the sidelines with John for 9.5 years, talking to him. Sometimes we have a goal that takes 10, 20, or 30 years to accomplish. Tyler Perry was homeless, living in his car for years before he realized that he was writing and staging his plays from a place of anger. And the moment he forgave his estranged father, his career took off. When he was homeless, living in his car, Tyler Perry was running in the wrong race. There's a race that we run in order to heal our broken egos, and then there is a race that we run to heal our souls. John's family and his ego are broken, and he's trying to heal his ego. And God might have been looking for a better reward for John, not just a healed ego, but maybe even a healed soul. Now let's look at Chantel. How did starving herself by eating keto and fasting break Chantel's pattern? Well, Chantel writes, "I've always felt destined, and I spent my whole life waiting for my destiny to finally arrive. And for once, I went to my destiny. It was waiting for me." So here we see this dichotomy. Chantel went from, I'm waiting for my destiny, so I'll just sit here and eat while I wait, because what else am I going to do while I wait? I'm going to eat. To, my destiny's waiting for me. I better put down these snacks. Put on my running shoes because I got to get going. My destiny's waiting for me, and I better hurry up because it's not going to wait long. So she switched it. And what has Chantel never done before? She's never been in control of her destiny. She's always been waiting for her destiny, not controlling it. So Chantel wrote some things that I ended up crossing out. The words that you write on your worksheet have to be precise. So every word that you write manifests. Because these worksheets have a certain power. They're your vision maps. They're a map of your vision, and I designed them to sort of mimic magic. It's like a recipe. So if I'm teaching you how to bake chocolate chip cookies, and then you start putting chicken in your bowl full of butter, sugar, flour, okay, I'm gonna tell you, take the chicken out, because we're not making chicken cookies, we're making chocolate chip cookies. So please, don't ruin the recipe. I'm making Chantel's vision map sort of slim down from the start because I don't want to create a chubby vision for her. We want to create her destiny. So when you write something that's no longer true, or you write something from a place of self-doubt, cross it out. And I call this cleaning up your thinking. You can't have any messy thinking on your worksheets. You do that on a different piece of paper. But this has to be clean. All right, Marisol. How did trying to find a husband break Marisol's pattern? Well, when you date losers, you don't have to work very hard. But Marisol is trying to date higher value men, so she's kind of got to work for it. She's got to lay down brick by brick, and every single step of progress is work. So, girl never had built security for herself before in the form of a man or a job. She also never valued herself as highly as she values other people. If Marisol begins to value herself, quote unquote, really super highly, she would treat herself the same way that she treats others. Marisol is a sacrificer. And sacrificers sacrifice their own comfort, happiness, and their own desires in order to elevate others. They are always putting themselves second and someone else first. Okay. So this is why Marisol only dates the losers, because she's in it for a good time. She's so tired of working hard to make sacrifices that when she dates, she just wants to relax and have a good time. You know what I mean? Just get a man to spoil her. And then when she's done being spoiled, she dumps them because she's had her fill and they're not really her equal anyways. So she just wants to be spoiled temporarily so that she can go back to this sacrificial lifestyle. Now there's a reason why she can't commit, because her lifestyle is not enabling her to commit. So look at what Marisol writes. She writes, easy come, easy go. My whole life was this way. Risk everything because I can easily start over. But not so now. I've never asked for my full real value from a man or an employer because I never thought I'd stay long enough for it to matter. My standards were low because I wasn't acknowledging that there has to be a match between who I am and who I'm with, whether that's a job or a man. Now remember, in step 4, Marisol said she didn't get a husband, but she finally started getting an identity. Me time is crucial for having an identity. So Marisol, write this down on your worksheet. If I don't have any me time, there is no me. How am I supposed to date? Because there's no one here to date. There's no me. I didn't spend any time being me or becoming me. And with no me, there's no we, because we equals me plus you. And with no me, there's just you, super hot guy, all by yourself. And when you look at me, all you see is empty space because I didn't spend any time building me, so there's nothing to look at. So look at Metasol's if-then-but statement. No drinking, no smoking, no dating losers. That's not me time. That's time out. That's not doing anything wrong, but it's still not doing anything right. Even her if-then-but statement is empty space. Okay, that's why she got the silver medal, not the gold. She's halfway there. Marisol, if you want to get married, you have to spend the next year not in time out, but in me time. Because you've got to make up for all those years you spent in you time. Time focusing on everyone but yourself. No one wants to date a nobody. And that's who you are. You are whoever you're with. But you're not you with a capital Y. And I'm looking at all the people who put themselves in time out. Me time is not soaking in a bubble bath eating Cheetos. Me time is hard work, sweat, blood, and tears on your own behalf, fighting the good fight, fighting to be the best version of yourself. Put down the Cheetos. Focusing on who you truly are, who you were meant to become, who you deserve to be, which is yourself. The you who is free, and the you that's pure, and the you who's worthy of true love. Okay, right now you're going to do your step 5. Get your worksheet. How did taking this journey change what you were doing before? How did it break your pattern, and what have you never done before? And then when you're done with that, watch the next video.